Pete's Outdoor Adventures. Let's go.
All right, guys. Today we're going to look at a park that's local. As I said, we're going to be looking at parks in Western New York. This one I'm going to start with that's closest to my home. It's about a 12 or 13 minute drive. I spent a lot of time at this park. It's the Clyde L Burmaster Park now, but it's always been known as Bond Lake or Bonds Lake because that's the name of the big lake there. I will always refer to it as Bonds Lake, but it's a Clyde L Burmaster now. They probably named it after somebody who recently passed away or whatever. But it's a beautiful park. My son, my family, we spent a lot of time there. The park has got 5 ponds on it. They call them lakes, but a couple of them are very big. I would say they're small lakes or big ponds, very big ponds, and then there's some smaller ponds on it. So lots of hiking trails. You could start there and have a family with a small child and hike a half a mile to a mile around one of the small lakes. But if you wanted to, you could probably walk or hike 8 to 10 miles because the trails are endless, and you can probably go 7, 8, 10 miles without touching the same trail. So there's a lot of trails, a lot of ways to go. This is in the town of Lewiston, and it's on a lower mountain road, beautiful area. So we're going to look at this and hope you get out there. I hope you get a chance to get out there and hike. So, great park.
Okay.
See you there.
So here we are at Bonds Lake. It's actually the Clyde L Burmaster Park, but it's always been up to this point known as Bonds Lake. And so it looks like they changed the name. It still says Bond Lake Recreation and Conservation Area, which is absolutely beautiful. It's the Onega County Parks Department. You can see there's hiking and fishing, even picnicking, canoeing, cross-country skiing, downhill skiing. They have an area where you can go skating, and then they have Frisbee golf here, which is the newest thing. Here's a map of the many ponds, and I'll show that to you. There's warnings on here about ticks and that kind of thing, as you normally see different places, and of course social distancing this day and age and that kind of thing. But if you look at the park, it's absolutely incredible. It really is an amazing scenario here. And if you look at the number of lakes on here, there's a small one here, LaSalle. There's Thaler Lake right over here. There's Bond Lake. And then there's Myers Lake. And as you could see, Myers Lake is 2 pretty big lakes, but they consider them one lake because they do connect in here a bit. So even though they look like 2 big lakes, they're actually connected. So they call it Myers Lake. And then there's a lake over here called Rainbow Lake. I have canoed on that and fished on that as well. So really, it's absolutely quite amazing the number of hiking trails and that type of thing. Okay, so we're at Bonds Lake, and this portion of the lake is not Bonds Lake. This is Myers Lake. That's why I have to say that Bonds Lake is the name of the park, but it's got so many beautiful areas that are just really neat. I fished in here, I've canoed in here, but I'm usually not on this side of Bonds Lake as much. I'm usually on the other side of Bonds Lake hiking. And as I said, for those of you who have never been to Bonds Lake, you can walk a mile trail, or there's trails that go 4 miles. But if you link some of these trails together, because they do link up, you can go on and on and on. I bet you can get 10 miles of trails out of here, if not more. It's a beautiful place to go to, because I wanted to show you, this is Myers Lake, and I tell you, it kind of reminds me of the Andy Griffith Show. Just absolutely gorgeous. There's a trail there. I mean, this park is really a big park. It really is huge. All right, just another part of the trail. and of the lake. Again, you see multiple islands out there, if you could see them. There's a ton of little islands that just jutter up. But it's probably good 8-9 feet deep, as I remember, because I did canoe here. And again, this is just one side of Myers Lake. There's a whole other side, and I think it's on the other side that I actually canoed. So you could see the trail. It's a beautiful trail. And actually, I'm going to pull you over this side. That is the lake over there. I don't know if you can really see it. Maybe we can go over there. I don't know where this trail goes because I'm new to it. This is kind of the end of a little edge of the lake, but the main part of the other side of Myers Lake is way over there. All right. Again, here is the other side of Myers Lake. If I go look this way, that's a big part of Myers Lake. That's one side of it. Then you go to the other side, and it's a whole other piece of the lake, and it keeps going out. And as you could see, the large portion of it is way up top there. And we might not make it over there today, but that's the big part of Myers Lake. And also behind me, what I just showed you. So it's just an amazing trail here, and an amazing lake, which really to me seems to be multiple lakes, but they're tied together. So absolutely incredible. So, all right, we're going to keep moving. Okay, we're entering the other section of Myers Lake, and this is on the little marker over there, because they do mark these for the park. It's 51, and as you could look, it's got a stream, little stream coming in. Very nice, and very beautiful. And then I'm going to take you, there's a little trail that get us over to the other section of Myers Lake. All right, I made it without falling into the water. So I'm going to take you over to the other section of Myers Lake. And again, I have been here in the past. Looks like there's some blowdowns here for sure. Definitely some blowdowns. This tree fell down. And with all the wind, it's been a crazy year. We had a couple of real bad windstorms. So let's go over here, and you can see this section of Myers Lake, which is, again, to me, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, just a gorgeous, gorgeous area. And again, it is at this point frozen over. And you could see how big that is. I mean, that's Myers Lake is a big, big lake. And again, this is only half of it. This is only half of Myers Lake. We were at the other half just a minute or two ago. So there's two big sections like this, which is amazing. This is somewhat deep. It's got to be at least 10 feet deep. My brother and I, we've been out here fishing. Used to take PJ on the other side over there, fishing when he was a little one, and it's pretty cool. But Jim and I have had the canoe out here. My brother Jim, we went canoeing and fishing. The beauty here is unremarkable. I mean, it's just a gorgeous day. Great hiking day. Again, we are on the east end of Bonds Lake Park, and there's some water here. This is not a pond right here, though. We'll get to LaSalle. They call it LaSalle Lake. It's like a big pond, but this is more of a, I would say, a swampy area in the summer. But beautiful out here, and it's just very gorgeous. It's a beautiful park. Love it. And we'll get to LaSalle Lake. Of course, it's frozen over, but that's okay. Again, the only thing you need to worry about a little bit and be tuned into is that there is a gun club, sportsman's club, which I love, right up the road here, and behind the park. So in the summer, certain days you might be walking, all of a sudden you'll hear some shooting. You don't have to be worried about that. It is a little irritating at times because you just want quiet, but you don't have to worry about getting shot. It's not something that's dangerous or whatever. Actually, those guys know what they're doing, so they're just shooting at a range, and it's close enough to the park. But again, it's not anything that's going to hurt anybody. But it might startle you. That's why I'm warning you. Out of blue, all of a sudden you hear a shot. You're like, what is that? It's safe. It is safe. So, again, there's even back behind here off this trail, because you could start to see some of the pond over here. LaSalle Lake, but it's a big pond. You can go on and on, like I said. The trails here are just endless. So you can come out here and do a half mile or a mile if you have kids, little kids, and they want to cruise around and that type of thing. But you can put in 10 miles there, no kidding. Easily, or several miles without hitting the same trail, because there's so many trails here. So there's so many trails that offset each other. So here is LaSalle Lake, which is a big pond. It is frozen over. It's pretty, a very pretty area, and it's just beautiful around here. Lots of pines, pine trees, and so very beautiful. I've spent a lot of time out here. I just love it. I don't know what it is about it. I've always just really enjoyed this area.
Okay, well, that was a review of the Clyde L Burmaster, also known as Bonds Lake Park. Again, it's a beautiful park. It's always been known to me as Bonds Lake. They just changed the name. But if you look up Bonds' name, you'll see that. And at the end of this, I'll leave a link for Bonds Lake so you know how to get there. There is on the All Trails app, there's a link for a hike there. So if you use the All Trails app, you can access that. But I will put a link on here so you can get yourself there with some maps to see some of the trails. And again, what a gem. We have so many gems in Western New York. This park is just beautiful. 5 different lakes. 2 of them I would consider lakes because they're really big for ponds. But the other 3 are ponds, but somewhat pretty big ponds. And I took you for a tour of Bonds Lake, that big pond, Myers Lake, and LaSalle Lake. There's 2 other lakes on there that I didn't even touch on our review of this. So get out there. Again, just another little gem in Western New York. Great hiking. It is beautiful in the summer and fall there. It's absolutely beautiful. Winter hiking is great, but as you know, when you're hiking in the winter, things are more drab in a sense. There's not a lot of color. So I'm taking you for tours right now in the winter of this park. So I don't think you can quite catch the sheer beauty of it, especially in the fall. Like any place, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So get out there, find that. I'm leaving the link, and get your legs moving and get out there and hike. Great for family and just by yourself or a buddy. Get out there and get some hiking done. Peace out.